I'd run out of options. That's how these things usually happen. How a person ends up placing all her last hopes on a stranger, hoping that whatever that stranger might do to her would be the thing she needed done to her. For so long, I had been a person who needed other people to do things to me. And for so long, no one had done the right thing to me. But already I'm getting ahead of myself. That's one of my problems, I'm told. Getting ahead of myself. So I've been trying to find a way to get behind myself, to be slow and quiet with myself, like Ed used to be. But of course, I can't quite make it work. Can't be exactly who Ed was to me. There are some things that only other people can do to you. Pneuma Adaptive Kinesthesia. PAKing, what Ed does to people, requires one person to know, and another person, me in this case, to lie there, not knowing. In fact, I still do not know what Pneuma Adaptive Kinesthesia really is, just that it made me, or seemed to have made me, well again. During our sessions, Ed sometimes hovered his hands over my body, chanting or humming, or silent while he supposedly moved or rearranged or healed invisible parts of me. He put stones and crystals on my face, my legs, sometimes pressing or twisting some part of my body in painfully pleasurable ways. And though I didn't understand how any of this could remove the various sicknesses from my body, I couldn't argue with relief. I'd spent a year suffering undiagnosable illnesses in almost every part of me, but after only one session with Ed, just 90 minutes, during which he barely touched me, I could almost forget I was a body. Such a luxury it was, to not be overwhelmed by decay. Chandra suggested PAKing, called it feng shui for the energetic body, guerrilla warfare against negative vibes. And though I was sometimes skeptical of Chandra's talk of vibes, this time I had to believe her. I'd been ill so long that I'd almost lost the belief I could be well again, and I was afraid of what might replace that belief if it disappeared completely. Technically, Chandra explained, PAKing is a form of neurophyso-chi bodywork, a relatively obscure technique, either on the outskirts of the forefront or the outskirts of the outskirts, depending on who you ask. The problem was, as always, an invisible one. The problem was money. I needed a minimum of 35 PAKing sessions at $225 each to complete a PAK series, which meant a complete treatment would cost me the same as a half-year's rent on that poorly lit and irregularly shaped one-bedroom I'd had for many years. Not because it suited me, I detested it, but because everyone said it was a steal, too good to let go. And even though my paycheck from the travel agency was decent, the monthly credit card minimums, student loan payments, and last year's onslaught of medical bills were all reducing my bank account to cents or negatives each month, while the debt always seemed to grow. One dire morning, starving and cashless, I ate the last of my pantry for breakfast. Slightly expired anchovies mixed into a tiny can of tomato paste. And I often Hare Krishna'd for dinner, leaving my shoes and dignity at the door to praise Krishna, the god, as far as I could tell, of cafeteria-grade vegetarian fare and manic chanting. By the fourth or fifth love feast, white tilaka greased on my brow, pasta wiggling around the metal plate, as if independently animate, I knew that the boundless love of Krishna would never be enough for me, no matter how hungry or broke or confused I became. It was a few days later that answering that ad for an income-generating experience tacked to a bulletin board at a health food store